A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos, and I hope you're doing well this morning on a Monday. It's a cold Monday out there, and of course, I hope everybody's doing well. And of course, remember, for those kids this morning, they'll probably need to have a coat on. It is cold, and it's going to be a crazy week. It's going to get back to, maybe the 60s and the 70s. And then by the weekend, we're talking about 19 degrees. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I read that. Of course, it's just that time of year. We're experiencing a nor'easter, so it brings in a lot of rain, and also we'll bring in some cold temperatures, and occasionally it'll bring in some snow. We haven't seen any of that yet, but it's definitely cold this morning in Birmingham. It's about 37 degrees.
Yeah, well, of course, it's not freezing in Troy. It's in the low 40s, but it is quite cold. And, here it is. I've got a jacket on this morning. It's not that the studio's not warm, because it is. What'd you do this weekend? What's going on?
Well, I watched Alabama get beat at the buzzer. I didn't go to the game. I watched it on television. Don Mestry, of course, was assistant coach for Billy Kennedy at Texas A&M the last couple of years, and him and his wife Sharon were behind the Texas A&M bench cheering them on as Alabama led throughout the whole game, and then Texas A&M, who was only 6-7, came back late, and Alabama just could not stop them on defense. And a guy hit a runner from about 25 feet off the glass with no time left for Texas A&M to beat Alabama in basketball.
Boy, oh boy. That's a heck of a way to lose, no question about it. I was going
to start our morning by John Johnson did a good article on Chip Lindsey's press conference. And, of course, you interviewed Coach Lindsey, and in the Dauphin Eagle, they quoted Mike Amos, super fan. And Mike Amos called it a home run hire. He's classy.
A home run hire. I don't know if I used a home run hire, but I said this. I said it was a hit the ground running hire. You know, he won't have to.
This is what he said. You said. He said he's classy. He cares about Troy. He understands Troy. Amos said, "You've got to understand Troy. We're different from Alabama, Auburn, and Florida State, but we are Troy, and we have a great program. I'm excited about." Amos believes that Lindsey, being a native Alabamian, he spent years coaching in high school ranks in the state, is a huge plus. What I like about him is we'll hit the ground running. Amos said he knows where the athletes are. He's dealt with the coaches in Alabama. Some coaches have to come in and learn that all over again. We've got that whipped right now. So that was your quotes on the Desert Eagle, man. Congratulations.
Makes sense. Yeah, congratulations. Of course,
I thought he did a great job, though. I listened to it on the radio.
Yeah,
up
it
here in
was
Marion.
good. It was very good. It was held at 11 o'clock on Friday, and our cameras were there, and hopefully we'll be able to show some of that, maybe even today, show some of the footage of the conference, what we call the induction of the next football coach at Troy. Somebody said it'd been 26 overall. I know it goes way back. Of course, Larry Blakeney took up around 25 of them, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. The coach coached for 24 years.
And Larry's been under the weather. I hope he's doing better.
Looked like a good turnout. The band was there. Of course.
Not the entire band. It was just a little pep band. Yeah.
I know, but I mean, a pep band was there. I mean,
Yeah.
It sounded like it was a good crowd, a lot of excitement. It sounded like, which is good.
Oh yeah, it was really good, and we even interviewed his kids. Got 4 beautiful children, and boy, they seem to be excited.
Well, I imagine they are. I mean, hopefully they can put down some roots in Troy. Coach Lindsey's traveled a lot over the last 6 years. I think he was an analyst at Auburn in 2013, and then he went to Southern Miss as offense coordinator for 2 years. Then he went to Arizona State for 1 year, and then back to Auburn for 2. And then he was living in Kansas this last month, so I would imagine he had moved his whole family out there. And then all of a sudden the Troy job comes open.
Yeah. Front page headlines. Today is the governor's inaugural ceremony. Governor Kay Ivey will go in as governor of the state of Alabama. There'll be a big parade. Can you believe the headlines, though, of the Montgomery Advertiser says Tide linebacker Wilson headed to the draft? It got headlines lifted. It got major headlines.
Coming back.
And the governor's inauguration got maybe just a little bitty one. But can you believe that? Do you think that's going to hurt Alabama?
Well, I mean, he had a horrible year. I mean, if you watched him in the game against Clemson, he probably missed 4 tackles that should have gone for a loss to win some big games. And he was calling the plays. I don't know. I think he's definitely not going to be a top, first 3-round pick. So I don't think you should ever go if you're not going to go in the top 3 rounds.
Deontay Thompson.
Alabama had a brutal weekend. They ended up having Mac Wilson decide to leave, and then Thompson, the really good safety, number 14, Deontay Thompson, who had a really good year.
Yeah.
But they expected him to be a first round, but he was thinking about coming back. And then Savion Smith, who was just awful in the bowl game, number 4, that gave up all those huge plays.
Yeah.
He decided to go.
Well, let him go. You're right. An offensive tackle.
Alabama's now lost 7 guys, 7 juniors to the draft.
Jonah Williams is going to the press.
But he's a first-round pick.
Yeah.
You only want to go if you're going to go in those first 2 rounds.
Of course, redshirt sophomore. And redshirt sophomore defensive tackle Quentin Williams was a redshirt sophomore. And
so was Johnny Manziel when he went. I mean, he was number 92. He was Alabama's best player.
Yeah, no question.
But I mean, Alabama's got the number 1 recruiting class in the country, but of course all those coaches are gone now too. Josh Gaddis, co-offense coordinator's gone to Michigan, but yet be their offense coordinator. Brent Key has left. Offensive line coach to go to Georgia Tech, to be a running game coordinator, offensive line coach. Of course, Mike Loxley took the Maryland job. And then the shocker of them all, this was supposed to be the offense coordinator, and everybody was shocked that Dan Enos left to go to Miami, of all places, which I think is, a horrible, program right now to go to. So Alabama's looking for, basically 4 new coaches on the offensive side.
Oh, boy.
And apparently Steve Sarkisian, who was the Atlanta Falcons offense coordinator last 2 years, who did a horrible job there, got fired.
Gosh.
And he was about to take the offense coordinator job.
He must be good. Everybody wants him, Mike.
He was about to take the offense coordinator job under Cliff Kingsbury, who just got the the Arizona Cardinals job. And he turned the Arizona Cardinals offense coordinator job down and said he took the Alabama offense coordinator.
Evidently, they'll pay him at least $1 million, don't you think?
So they say Sarkisian is coming back to Alabama.
I know, but don't you think they'll pay him at least $1 million?
They'll be paying him, yeah, I would think so. But, you only got 1 game from him. Of course, he took over for Kiffin in the national championship game and, was an analyst the whole season. So, Alabama fans, of course, they're hurt still from the national championship. And you hear a lot of people make comments on Facebook that this is a dead-end hire and, this is going to be the end of the dynasty, ball, this and that. But I think the guy's a pretty good coach. He used to be the head coach of Washington.
He must be. What I'm saying, he must be. These people are not going to want to hire him like that if he's not a good coach.
Yeah, the same people on the internet and Facebook that are making, the Chip Lindsey hire seem like it's a bad hire. You got all these Auburn fans.
You mean people are saying that about Chip Lindsey? I think it's a great hire.
You got all these Auburn fans complaining about what he did at Auburn this past year, but he didn't have control of the situation.
No. He was having to ask Malzahn if he could make the call, if he could, that gets pretty bad whenever you have to check with the coach to make sure you're making the right call or so.
This is what I like on TroyTrojans.com today. They got Kerryon Johnson, SEC Player of the Year with the lines. His quote on TroyTrojans.com is, I think this is a great hire. Troy has built a very good program the past couple of years. I think it can only trend upwards with Coach Lindsey getting the job. He's a player's first coach and someone you always give 100% effort for. Off the field, he is someone you can relate to and talk to.
And that is not a quote. And that is not a paid political announcement paid for by Troy University either.
Yeah, no, that's on TroyTrojans.com, though. It's pretty amazing that these guys have come out on Twitter and posted this, and then Nick Mullins, the quarterback for the 49ers, who put up all those huge numbers at Southern Miss under Chip Lindsey, said, I'm extremely excited for Coach Lindsey. He's a great teacher, coach, who connects with his players and staff. He is great to play for, and his players will really want to play for him. I expect a lot of wins and points to be scored at Troy.
That's great.
So these are players playing in the NFL.
I was told by a very reliable source, one of the I would trust his judgment over anybody's, said that Chip Lindsey was one of the best offensive minds in America. Hey, not just in the SEC, not just because he's coming to Troy, but was one of the best offensive minds in college football.
Yeah, basically they're going off on one season at Auburn. Everywhere else, he's been great.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about it, he was, like you said, he's not. Malzahn, he's going to have the final say on most every call.
Of course, we need to mention this. Local Charles Henderson news: Moore Davenport plays. Of course, if you don't live in the state of Alabama, of course, everybody in the state knows this now. This has made all AL.com coverage, all the newspaper coverage, national media. You had ESPN covering the game. It's just been unbelievable, the support that Moore Davenport has had. They did filed an injunction to build a letter play through Sonny Reagan, I guess. And, she's eligible at the moment, and they destroy Ozark. She scores 25 points. I think she had 8 blocks and, 14 or 15 rebounds. But so far, the support's just been incredible, and I would imagine it's going to continue, and hopefully she'll be able to play throughout the rest of the season.
No question about it. Great sign of unity at Charles Henderson, too. That was really impressive. I didn't get to go to the game. I had to go out of town, but
Wally and Neal, I think, did the game.
Yeah, they did the game, and
I would love to hear them commentate basketball together. That's got to be
I've yet to do that either, but hopefully I can do it soon. But You know who I've got my hats off to, Mike, is the principal at Charleston's High School, Dr. Brock Kelly. He wouldn't let it alone. You know, let me tell you, a lot of folks would say, well, I'll go and say something, but he would not leave it alone, and by doing so, I think he's going to get her eligibility back.
Well, I mean, there's been tons of support. I mean, all over Facebook, several people have been supporting. Frank Scarver's been a big supporter. Rochelle Jeffco's been a big supporter. I mean, constantly, talking about how, she should be able to play, and then they got the right people involved. They got, the politicians involved. They got Mayor Reeves involved. They got Wes Allen involved. Of course, they got the state officials involved. And the next thing you know, they got the national media involved. When you got Jay Billis, who's like the most credible, popular basketball announcer out there on ESPN during the Alabama-Kentucky game talking about it, and then you got him writing articles about it on ESPN.com, and then you got Vivian Stringer, who won 1,000 games, the head coach of Rutgers, that recruited her, talking about it. And then you got Kobe Bryant talking about it.
I know it.
I mean, it's unbelievable, the exposure, and I think they're going to keep on doing it. So hopefully she can play through the state tournament and go to Steve Savarese and get the trophy from him.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be great, wouldn't it? But
again, what hope for. I mean, I tell you what, though. I mean, I'll say this: the power of media is pretty amazing. What stuff like that will do.
Yeah. Well, and she's a premium young lady to go with being a great
I've met her
basketball
several
coach.
times. She's a really young lady, and a really really you just want the best for her. You hate all this happening.
Exactly right, and of course, you don't know. People, would think that like Team USA, what an honor it was to play for that, but the people with Team USA are the ones that dropped the ball here, They should have known right off the bat.
It's one of those situations where she's the first female athlete out of high school to ever play for Team USA, is what I was told. I mean, it's an unbelievable honor.
And I know it. She's one of the very best players in America, and of course, she had 25, and how many block shots?
I heard she had 8 block shots and over 14 rebounds.
That's what she does as well as anybody blocking shots and things like that. And when I turned the corner to come home last night, I went to see the
Platters, the Coasters, and the Drifters.
Saw the Drifters, the Coasters, and the Platters last night in Montgomery, and really was a lot of fun, and saw a lot of Troy people there. But
I saw the Littles were there.
Yeah, they were there, sure were, and also I had front row seats, which made it even better. I tell you what, my guy Steve here, Mike, can get you a good ticket. I promise you. People ask me, said, "How did you get those tickets? How did you get those tickets?" I better shut up because everybody be starting to call Steve about it.
I'm sure you had to pay good money.
I did. Yeah, you want to know how you get front row seats? You pay for them. You're exactly right.
Well, tell me this: out of all the original members, how many you think of the original members were living in these groups?
None of the Platters, and boy, they had some great singers, but none of them were originals. They're all either dead or not participating anymore. But
what was the Platters' big song? Great Pretender?
That was one of them. They had several good ones, but that was one of them. The Coasters had a bunch of them, and so did the Drifters. And of course, the Drifters had a lot of their old regular folks, and then they looked like the real deal. The only people that didn't look like the real deal were the Platters, who had all these great young singers, but they're still keeping the name alive and keeping the music alive. And
you got to think maybe it's probably some of their family, some sons or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a beautiful setting. Montgomery's doing a great job of promoting music like that.
What kind of crowd they have there?
Oh, it was almost packed. Even the balcony was packed. It was a great group, and So a lot of Troy
There's a lot of
people.
older people there. There's probably ambulances on both
Yeah,
sides.
yeah, like older people like me. Yeah, exactly. But it was fun, and and then
I can't think of a Drifter song. What did the Drifters sing?
oh gosh, they've got all kind of boardwalks. One of them.
Oh, on the boardwalk.
Yeah, up on the roof, boardwalk. They've got a lot of great songs, Mike. The Drifters probably had more hits than the rest of those guys, probably.
Yeah.
But you know, the Platters, of course, had a lot of those, love songs and so forth. You know, that were so good. But it was good. It brought back a lot of memories, and a lot of people enjoyed it.
Was anybody dancing?
Yeah, quite a bit. Especially when they played the twist. Let's twist again like we did last summer.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm going to see how much you know about music. Nick, in I want to say the 10th of February, they've got a young man coming in to sing who is quite popular. Donkey, darling, Donkey.
That's Wayne Newton.
How did you know that? My wife, your mother and I were laughing about that going home. I said, "Oh, Donkey is coming on the 10th," and of course,
he also sings a real pretty version of Danny Boy.
Oh yeah, he's a great singer, and he probably had more facelifts than anybody.
He's on about his 10th face.
and hey,
kind of looks like he's an alien now.
I know it. You know, he became very popular as a young singer, Mike, and he was real fat. I mean, I bet he weighed 250 pounds. He was a young singer at 13 and 14 years old, and started singing, and became popular, and then started doing the Las Vegas acts out there, and got bigger and bigger. And he's Mr. Las Vegas, no question about it.
I mean, he still plays 4 or 5 nights a week. We're out there in September, you know. And,
oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I'd probably go see him. My wife would never go see him.
Oh yeah, well he's going to sell it out.
He's one of the most well-known performers of all time. I probably would go see him.
And he'll sell out. He'll sell out the Renaissance too.
He sells out Biloxi all the time.
I mean, he's a great performer, and that's why it makes him so good. You know, he's been a Las Vegas performer for so long, and you know, like you said, he's a hit, and he sells out probably every night out there. No telling how much money.
I think Donnie and Marie Osmond sell out every night out there. I mean,
no telling how much money this guy makes. No question about it.
But he's worth $100 million easy.
Well, ask your box there and tell us exactly how much you.
I'm going to tell everybody there is no box. It's just me.
Oh, it is really. I know you're brilliant, man. You're brilliant.
Of course, I want to congratulate Coach Cunningham and the Troy basketball team. They bounced back from a really brutal loss to Little Rock and went to overtime against Arkansas State, who had not lost at home all season. Jordan Bernardo and Alex Hicks foul out.
That's why when they fouled out, I said to myself, well, Troy doesn't have a chance. But, man.
And B.J. Miller and Javon Johnson led them to victory in overtime. Yeah. And Troy now is 2-2 in the conference, 9-7 overall, and huge win. If you go to 1-3 in the conference to start the season, you're in trouble. And, big victory. Of course, Bernardo was great again and scored 27. He is just lighting it up this season.
And they're playing Tuesday night. Is that right, in Troy?
I think they play Thursday night against Georgia Southern and then play a game that I might try to come to on Saturday. They play the great Georgia State, who beat Alabama already this year, and Georgia.
Oh, have they? So they're loaded. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that same guy coaching them?
Oh, yeah, Hunter.
Yeah. Is his son still playing in the pros?
You know, he got cut in the pros, and I think he, first-round pick, so he made all that money. I want to say he's overseas in Europe now.
Yeah. Want to also want everybody to think about that.
And let's don't forget the women's team. They continue to win. What are they, 12-2, 13-2?
Well, I had somebody come up to me last night at at the big show in Montgomery and said, "Man, your girls are really good." He said he watched them on TV the other night. Come back from 14 points down with 4 minutes left. How in the world do you do that?
Yeah, that still is incredible to think about.
Troy, that happened. What day was that happened? But that was a huge win.
I say Troy's got to have some fan turnout, though. These are the two biggest teams in the Sun Belt they're playing this week, Georgia Southern and Georgia State. So
yeah,
hopefully there'll be some really good crowds.
That'll be Thursday and Saturday.
I would guess the students have been back in for a week.
Yeah, they've been back, and hopefully, the worst thing that's happened lately is that.
The scheduling in the Sun Belt.
Scheduling in the Sun Belt, and I guarantee you it won't be there next year. I've already heard so much complaints that, well, while we're talking about the girls playing on a separate night than the boys, and let me tell you this, girls basketball is exciting and fun to watch, but at the same time, it will go out to a lot more people if they play the boys and the girls on the same night.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different in a place like Tennessee where, the girls sell out of Tennessee, and I think I've heard the girls are almost starting to sell out of Mississippi State every game.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it's just, a lot different in smaller conferences.
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy when Troy's beating Arkansas State at home, the ladies are, and then the men are on the road beating them. That makes no sense.
Yeah. You know what would be unreal, and I was hoping it would happen, would be for Davenport to go to Troy. Wouldn't that be something? Do you think that they would fill it up every night, wouldn't they?
I don't think they they probably, offered her because everybody in the country offered her, but I don't think she was ever seriously going to go to Troy. I mean, the one sad thing about the Davenport girl is, of course, she's a great player and, everybody's, 100% supporting her, but you go to Rutgers, nobody's ever going to see you play.
Yeah, no question about it. And
if she would have stayed in the Southeastern Conference, she would have had a lot of people probably wanting to go see her.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when she came to play in Auburn or played at, Tuscaloosa. But, shoot, I can't think of anybody, at least they're scheduling a trip to New York and say, hey, let's go over to, Rutgers and watch her play. But, that's one thing you will not see unless – they do well and make it to the NCAA tournament in advance. You'll be able to watch her on TV.
No question about it. Of course, we appreciate our sponsor today, the Alabama Real Estate Connection. Call Carol Amos today at 672-0100. I want to mention, of course, the Enterprise High School, Mike, has a wonderful performing arts center, and they've got a Ensemble Malage coming to Enterprise on the 17th. That's a well-known group that tours the country. And, with our Arts Council and things that happen at Troy University as far as them bringing in talent and the people down in Brundage that bring in so much talent, and that'll be coming up pretty soon, the annual
what is it, the We Piddle Around Theater?
The We Piddle Around Theater has already had their fall concert series. They'll start back in the spring. But the Storytellers, Mike.
Storytellers, yeah.
That's gotten to be a big thing in Troy and Pike County, and that'll be coming up pretty soon, and actually coming up in February. Of course, I want to remind you folks out there that the great John Archer, the annual John Archer reunion will be on the 22nd and 23rd of February, which is a lot of fun. A lot of those guys come back. I tell you, I don't think I've ever had any more fun with any group that I've worked with than the Archer group. They're great people, I'm telling you, and a lot of fun.
Yeah, they do some really good folks, and a lot of them have been on the show before. And of course, that's great that you guys remember those teams and those guys were able to come back. And I know you've always been very complimentary to Coach Cunningham and Coach Grant, their staff.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Fletcher to be involved.
They always come. They always come, and No question about it. They're class operators. The Troy University coaching staff, and Mike, I think they might put it together. I think they're playing pretty good right now. What do you think?
Well, it's all about getting the guards to play. Miller's been really good, but Adams has struggled. The kid out of Carver, if he can play consistently, and then of course Johnson's starting to play a little bit better in the wing. He's a 6'7" guy that can really shoot and drive to the basket. But you got three really good seniors. When you got Bernardo, who's probably I'll say Person was a great player, but I think Bernardo's a little bit ahead of Person as far as all-time greats at Troy.
Yeah.
You got Bernardo, you got Hicks, and you got Miller. Those are three really good seniors.
Yeah.
So hopefully so. 9 and 7 for Troy. Usually they struggle in the non-conference, and, are trying to fight to stay around 500. But maybe they can.
And it's not just Troy. It's not just Troy. It's hard to win on the road in the Sun Belt Conference. I tell you, it is really in any sport. Don't you agree?
Yeah, we also need to recap the NFL over the weekend. Some decent games and then some blowouts. The Chiefs blew out the Colts, which really surprised me, 31-13. Andrew Luck has been playing great football, but Mahomes, a lot of people think he's the reason Cliff Kingsbury got the head coaching job with the Arizona Cardinals. Kingsbury got fired from Texas.
Yeah, he coached Mahomes.
But he coached Mahomes, yeah. So that really helps him out as far as getting a pro job. And then the Rams beat the Cowboys. The Rams just ran up and down the field on them, had two different backs rush for 100 yards. So the Cowboys got beat. And then yesterday, the Patriots just blew out the Chargers. I know the final score was 41-28, but the Chargers were down by as many as, I think, 28 at one time. So Brady continues to win. And then the best game of the day by far was the Saints came back from 14 down to hold off the Eagles. The Eagles had the ball at the 20-yard line with about 3 minutes left. They threw a perfect pass. Alshon Jeffries, who's one of the best receivers in the league, goes through his hands somehow right into the Saints guy's hands for an interception, and that's how they won that game yesterday against the Eagles, who were the defending champions.
That's amazing. You're exactly right. This guy at Kansas City, he's a difference maker, isn't he?
Yeah, I like Andy Reid. I would definitely not have an issue at all if the Chiefs, went on to play in the Super Bowl. He's had that one team that went to the Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens, but other than that, has never won a Super Bowl. Of course, it's going to be extremely tough to beat Brady. I know that the Chiefs have the home field advantage, but I would never want to go against New England in the playoffs.
Let's just say this, and all you got to do is look at the record books. Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever live.
Yeah, they call him the GOAT.
Brady is the best quarterback to ever live. If you want to argue, now I love my guy at Green Bay. I love him. He's a great guy. His records don't even compare. In fact, nobody's records compare because in the playoffs, and that's where you talk about these guys. Brady has just doubles everybody else in production.
Yeah, 5 Super Bowls. I think they've been the playoffs. I don't know how many straight years. I guess every year he's been there.
You know why I think he is so good? First of all, he is an unbelievable competitor. If he was playing
he's 41 years old.
If he was playing hopscotch, whatever you call it, he'd want to win. And that's a heck of a comparison, isn't it?
Isn't that crazy? You saw his last college game.
I sure did.
He came back from 14 down to beat Alabama in the Orange Bowl.
And Alabama went into
overtime, missed the extra point.
That Orange Bowl game.
Alabama's just always missed extra points, apparently.
Yeah. I know it. You're right. No telling how good Saban would be if he had a decent place kicker, would he?
I tell you what, they say this Riker kid out of Hoover's the real deal. I would not think he would take too much to beat out the two guys they had this year.
Well, Troy's kicker is from Spain Park, isn't he? Troy.
Yeah, I saw some pictures of A.J. Smiley, who played at Spain Park, and Tyler Sumter hugging Coach Lindsey. So obviously they were there when he was at Spain Park.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I tell you what,
or they were in the
Troy,
feeder
let me just
program.
say this. Jeremy McClain, the AD, I think he had his eyes on Lindsey for a long time. You know, he knew him personally. I think it was a perfect fit. It just worked out that way. But you look at that situation with a guy that was as well known and as was well recommended as he could be, you know, to coach at Auburn, you know, and be their offensive coordinator. You know, they're not going to get a flop coach to come be their coach for 2 years at Auburn. And then he goes and is the first guy that Miles hires on the staff at Kansas. This guy's the real deal. I'm telling you, he's exactly what I want. I want a young, hungry coach, and he's not so young that hasn't been around the corner enough. This is a coach that's on fire to win, and this is no new thing to him. He's very successful. Been very successful everywhere he's been.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing Jeremy McClain did, and Jeremy McClain was really polished. And
I am really impressed with him.
Conference,
yeah.
But he made a point that he wanted a coordinator. And, you know, a lot of people were disappointed. Some people wanted John Summerall. But
yeah, and he's a great guy, yeah.
And never been a coordinator at any level.
Yeah.
And, you know, he made a big point that he wanted somebody with coordinating experience. And I said that the whole time as well. You know, the credentials of Lindsey over anybody else were, you know, through the roof. So, I mean, it was really a no-doubter if it came down to those two candidates.
I would like
now, if you throw in the guy that was the Roberts guy that was the head coach at Delta State, head coach at Southeast Louisiana, and now the defense coordinator at Lafayette, he had a, you know, coaching, you know, head coach resume and coordinator resume. And then you have Will Hall, who was a coordinator at Tulane and had been a head coach at West Alabama and West Georgia. You know, he has a really good resume as well.
Yeah, no, and he's a sharp guy, and it's proven. He's a proven guy. Yeah.
You know, and what we hope Chip Lindsey wins 11 next year, and we hope he wins 10 the next, and we hope he wins 11 the next, and 12 the next, and then a big boy wants to come get him, and then maybe we'll go back and look at those guys.
Yeah, you know, you were talking about what was his name, Hall.
Yeah, the kid, he's only 36, 37 years old.
You know, somebody told me, said, gosh, he's the cockiest coach I've ever seen. You know, he thinks he hung the moon. Well, you know what? I want the coach to think he hung the moon. I want him to believe. I want him to believe he's the best. You know what I'm saying? And I want him, when he lines up against anybody he plays, he wants to win, and he believes he can win. That's what makes that guy successful. You know, they say he's a hands-on type guy, you know, instead, you know, like Saban, you know. And, hey, I like that
That's one thing now. We've got to see what kind of staff Coach Lindsey's going to put together. I mean, I know he's going to hire some good guys, but that defense coordinator position is going to be huge for Troy.
I think so, too.
Losing Vic Koenig is a huge loss. He was a great, great defense coordinator.
Yeah, no question. And they say now, I'm hearing things that he's going to be making right at $1 million to go coach at West Virginia.
Yeah,
and let me tell you this: in the same breath, Coach, our offensive line coach,
Moore, is a great coach. Matt Moore
is also a great coach, and great for kids. I mean, there's no question. And then, of course, the quarterback coach is going to West Virginia with Coach Brown.
Yeah, Sean Reagan.
I mean, those are three premium coaches right there, and then they're taking their recruiting coordinator, who's I brag about him all the time. He's a bright young man, and
Brian Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett, and he, I think that's who it is, and he's done a great job. So you know, he took 3-4 good people away from us, and might take a few more. But I think, from what I hear, and I've heard through the grapevine, and it's not official yet, that Shane Wasden might be coming back to Troy, which he's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's official yet. And, of course, you know, you asked Coach Lindsey at the press conference about, you know, potential coaches and who he was going to hire. And, yeah, like, you know, that he was not comfortable of mentioning any names
yet. That's right.
I would imagine you'll start hearing some names this week, though, for sure. Because they got to start recruiting, man. You got about less than 3 weeks to get to.
What's the date? What is the date? The 7th or the 4th? What's the date on that? It's on a Tuesday.
I want to say it's the 4th, but I'll have to look at my calendar. But yeah, they got to start recruiting now. Troy signed 17 guys. Yeah. They've got probably 7 more scholarships.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think they'll do with their quarterbacks now? I've heard
I would think somebody's going to transfer out.
All right, the kid that threw for 85 touchdowns is already here. Did you know that?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's already here, enrolled in school.
Well, I would imagine Free is enrolled in school too, because he's coming from junior college.
That's right, and Free would be already here. Let me ask you something. Can you give us any information on? I mean, let me tell you, I don't care if we're playing Jacks. you don't even know what Jacks is, do you?
It's just like Chancellor Hawkins.
You've never played Jacks in your life where you drop a ball and you pick up Jacks?
I've played Jacks before. But, Chancellor Hawkins said the first season of Troy University in football, we played Union Springs twice.
That's right, yeah, when we started football years ago. And something that everybody broke down the whole room was when Coach Lindsey said, I would like to schedule them this year.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, me. Let me tell you this. When I say hit the ground running, Mike, what does that mean to you?
That means that you hit the ground running, that you never stop, and you basically start working immediately.
Yeah, and everything's already in place. He's hitting the ground. I mean, he doesn't have to go around the athletic building, saying I'm so-and-so, and he doesn't have to start, putting together fan base or anything like that. It's already there. I mean, he already knows the coaches. He said over and over now, I want you to hear this. He said, we recruited the same people. He said, we ran into Troy all the time on the recruiting trail at Auburn. And he is considered.
Yeah, I'm sure he ran into him at Southern Miss, too.
Yeah, and at Southern Miss, he ran into him.
He said he recruited Sawyer Smith. So you got to think when he was at Southern Miss, he recruited
That's
Sawyer
right,
Smith.
Who plays quarterback for Troy now. And then you've got another young man. But what I'm saying is, everything's set. He already understands the program. If they would have hired somebody from outside Alabama, they would have had to spend a lot of their time just trying to get to know everybody. But this guy already knows them. He coached at Troy in 2010. In 2015, his offenses at Southern Miss, and I was telling the guy this Friday, he says, well, how good is this guy? How good is this guy as an offensive coordinator? Look around and try to find many schools that have ever had over 6,400 yards in total offense, and he did that at Southern Miss. As the
was actually more than that. The quarterback threw for 4,000, and they ran for 2,500.
That's right. They ran for 2,500. And that quarterback that he coached on is now the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, Nick Mullen.
Yeah, exactly. And what I like is he's a Troy guy already. I mean, he understands Troy. He's been here. He knows his way to how to get to the student union building. He knows where the good food is over the dining hall and whatever, but the
one thing I liked about it is that he was blown away by the facilities and the upgrades. When he was here in 2010, Troy didn't have.
That's right.
The new cafeteria. They didn't have the new alumni hall, which is incredible. I don't even know if the Chancellor Hawkins building was built.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, the football end zone project was not even close to being built. I mean, all that's done now. You got a new student rec center, like he said. At Trojan Arena wasn't built. He said, now I can take somebody anywhere on this
campus.
Exactly,
and not be embarrassed, he said. And not be embarrassed.
For a Sunbelt school, and we've been to a lot of Sunbelt campuses.
Yeah.
Troy's campus is through the roof.
Exactly right. Of course, we're also very concerned about a young lady that was killed in a car wreck, Mike. A young Troy lady was killed in a collision that happened on Highway 231 this week. Her name is Portia Johnson. She's 32 years old and was killed when her 2008 Chevrolet Impala struck a a car driven by a 17-year-old juvenile from Troy, according to state troopers. So, again, our prayers and
our prayers go out to the families. We hate to hear that happen.
And also my very good friend Tommy Outlaw, Mike, our prayers and thoughts are still with his family. And, boy, I've never seen so much love for one individual in my life than I've seen for Tommy Outlaw, and rightfully so. I mean, he's one of the great people that I've ever known in this city or in my life. Just the regular guy who is one of the great people of all time in Troy, because he gave back so much, not only to his community, but to his family and to his neighbors. When every day for since Christmas, I would count from 10 to 20 cars were at their home to be with his family. I've never seen the love so strong for an individual in my life.
Yeah, I mean, the Outlaws have an extremely strong family, and, hopefully they'll continue to be strong and prayers go out. And I mean, that's just the way it's been, their whole lives over there. I mean, my goodness, Christmas or holidays, there's 30 or 40 cars at the Outlaws.
Oh, yeah, no question.
I mean, that's a strong family, and, of course, they've been our next-door neighbors for our whole life, and, we're praying for the family, and we hope everybody else out there will as well.
Well, and it's been a show of love throughout our community, and, of course, he was our fire chief up until he retired just a little over a year. Well, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago now. But so many of the firefighters, you see their trucks over there, and, so many of them that just loved him when he was their fire chief and their friend. And that's the thing about Tommy Outlaw that I hope a lot of people will learn from. It doesn't hurt to be nice to people and show your love for people. Christ says, love one another, and that was Tommy Outlaw. He loved his fellow man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're still praying for Mr. Tommy and still praying for the family. So everybody out there, keep them in their prayers, and, we're going to keep on doing that as long as we can.
Yeah, and then, of course, everybody's excited about Maury Davenport. All she did, bless her heart, was score 25 points and block 8 shots in a game. This is what...
I mean, you would think Carol Bozlar would put up a better fight than
73 to 17 or something like that. And
I mean, how do you score 17 points?
Well, one thing about it, when she's in the game, you can't get a shot inside of 10 feet because she's going to block them.
It seems like somebody would luck up and hit a few threes, though.
I know it. No question about it. And
I mean, I can't remember in high school, as far as quarters, as far as in ladies basketball, they play 8-minute quarters?
Yeah, they play 8 minutes quarters. Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to believe that you can only score 16 or 17 points.
Exactly.
I mean, Carroll's a pretty big school, big 5A school. That's surprising.
Yeah. Of course, we're also concerned about our weather this week. It's going to get really cold by the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the city of Troy needs to, make sure all these young kids that walk to school have jackets. That's always been a big concern to me when I lived in Troy, when I used to see these little kids walking to school with no jackets. And unfortunately, the kids have to walk. So that's something I hope that maybe some of these kids can get some rides.
Yeah. No question about it.
It seems like we'd have some kind of deal with cold weather days in the 20s that these kids could maybe get to class a little later or something. I mean, that's brutal to be walking in that kind of weather.
No question about it. There's no question about it.
It seems like some rich person in Troy, Alabama could get a van or we could have something from the university to borrow on certain days like that to pick up kids.
Exactly. Back to Chip Lindsey, and I was just reading some of the quotes or some of the statistical data that was released. His team this year averaged right at 31 points a game. Of course, Auburn finished 8-5, and they defeated Purdue 63-14 in the Music City Bowl.
No, he didn't coach in that Music City Bowl game.
Yeah, okay. In 2017, Lindsey helped engineer, and hear this, an offense that surpassed the 3,000 mark in both passing and rushing, something that hadn't been done in Auburn history. And it was just the 8th time in Southeastern Conference history that anybody in the SEC had an offense that went over 3,000 yards rushing and passing. So that's not bad, is it?
No, I mean, I think when it's all said and done, you got to look at this year at Auburn and say they had no offensive line play. Malzahn came out in the bowl and said Stem was injured a lot during the year. You had no real serious running game. At the end of the day, you can't put together a great offense when you got all those issues.
Yeah. Lindsey, of course, is in the process of rebuilding his staff, and it was announced earlier this week that Vic Koenig, of course, the defensive coordinator, would follow Brown to West Virginia, and I think Coach Moore is also going. And
it's official, Moore's gone.
Yeah. With a few
on
more,
West Virginia's website.
With a few more possibly on their way out as well, Lindsey.
I would like to know what Jordan Leslie is going to do, and then of course Cornelius Williams, receiver coach. It's going to be interesting to see what those guys do. Of course, Al Poe is a great coach for Troy, great recruiter. Bam Harmon's a really good coach. Troy just had a great staff altogether.
Yeah, no question. He says he feels, pretty good about putting together a staff, and sees a very smooth transition. We're in the process of finalizing a coaching staff, and it's going to happen pretty quick. I'm pretty confident in that, and I think we are in good spot with most of our staff. Lindsey also talked to many Troy recruits, even with Brown no longer on the sidelines. Lindsey feels like his recruits are still eager to come to Troy, so that's telling you a lot right there. And I'm tickled. I'm tickled with the way this guy. He's a huge family guy. He wants people to know that it's important that he gets by to see his granddaughter his daughter play ball or play sports or go to a beauty pageant or to a dance recital. He wants his players to know that that's important to him, that he's a family man before anything else.
Well, that's one thing I would say that Neil Brown did better than I think any coach I've ever seen at Troy was getting out in the community, getting involved with the students on campus. You hear stories about him, how he had Troy T-shirts and hats to give the students he'd see wearing Alabama or Auburn stuff on campus, and was really involved with the sororities and fraternities. And I will say, and I've been watching Troy football. I guess I was born in '76 and probably went to games as soon as I was born. But I've never seen the students get into games, cheer, stand,
stay there
early, be there, not leave. Have a huge presence. And that was all Neil Brown right there. I never had seen that before, and hopefully we can find a way to continue that.
Yeah. Lindsey, in talking about Troy and how it's grown since 2010 when he was here as quarterback coach, things have changed drastically on campus as well as Veterans Memorial Stadium. He says it's breathtaking, really, Lindsey said. It has the wow factor. The facilities are second to none. That shows our commitment to athletics and football, how it compared to the facilities in 2000, or it says it doesn't compare with the facilities they had in 2010. We are second to none. It's set up very well, and also officially Lindsey's era started starting next fall, and he knew head coach can't wait to get started. And I talked to him about when he would start his spring practice, Mike, and he said he doesn't know for sure, but maybe later. And I can understand that, wouldn't you think? Get the off-season program in and all that.
Yeah, I mean, you could start spring practice in April. That wouldn't be an issue.
Exactly right. And a lot of times, late spring, they'll be able to take what they learned in the spring and it'll be still in their minds come fall practice.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing, we've mentioned. I mean, this is probably the most talented Troy team maybe ever coming back. Of course, you're trying to add some wide receivers. Troy lost 3 really, really good wide receivers. Of course, you got to add a running back to help out B.J. Smith. Of course, you lose a couple of defensive guys that were great players in Sanders and Hunter Reese. But Troy's got a lot of talent coming back.
And that means a lot. And, of course,
I mean, you're losing basically one offensive lineman, and that offensive line's been really good.
Yeah,
What's up, Billy?
And then, of course, with the, what Auburn did and what Troy did is very similar. They all run that spread offense. And, all of it goes back to Tony Franklin, doesn't it? Because I'm sure he was a Tony Franklin guy when he was at Hoover, wasn't he?
Oh, well, I mean, Probst, was the guy he was under at Hoover. I guess he's an air raid guy. I think maybe he's not necessarily as big as like Neal was, but I mean that's the offense he runs.
Yeah, you're right. And I think it bodes well with what we're trying to do here at Troy.
I was interested that he was a baseball guy. I didn't realize he had a baseball background.
Yeah, I love baseball. In fact, Troy's former baseball coach was there and knew him very well, and it was sort of a role model. Bobby Pitts was a role model for, and that's what he said, Chip Lindsey.
Yeah, he said that Bobby Pierce had some interesting coaching tactics and to motivate his players, and then Chip Lindsey made a comment that he broke a lot of helmets.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Coach Pierce said, he asked him a question. He said, well, you definitely made the right decision to stick with football.
Yeah, exactly right. Of course, we appreciate Max Credit Union right here in Troy on the bypass, and my good friends, I tell you what, they do a wonderful job, and we're so glad they're part of our team here on Today in L.A. Also, I want to say good morning to my good friends at Troy Nissan, and boy, they've got a great selection of Nissan cars and trucks to choose from at Troy Nissan on the bypass right here in Troy. And of course, Dwayne and all the Webb boys are good friends of mine, great people. Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need. Mike, is it 11 or 12 branch offices?
I mean, I don't know. I thought you mentioned a new office was opening up the other day. So
that's exactly right. Columbus, Georgia. They're moving into Columbus, Georgia. They're already in Auburn. They're already in Dothan. They're already in Enterprise, New Brockton. They're in Brundage and in Goshen. And they're all everywhere, Mike. And they do a great job.
Well, they always say we're the only bank you ever need.
That's right. No question about it. We appreciate it. Want to also mention, ladies and gentlemen, our good friends at Bird Drugs on the corner in downtown Troy. I promise you, their bacon and their eggs and their grits and their toast and their biscuits are as good as you'll find anywhere. And they're cooking right now on the square in downtown Troy. Mike Amos is on board with us. We'll be back right after this.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Tori Dunn from Dixie Trails. You get your truck washed here?
I sure did.
Billy Johnson. I know you're not bringing them cow trucks, okay?
I do, and they're like me when I leave.
Loretta, what are you doing?
Getting my car detailed.
At Trojan Detail, we do it all. When you are handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile, you saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
At Cost Plus 10%, we offer your favorite brands at the best price. At Piggly Wiggly, we keep it simple. We price our products at cost, then add 10% at checkout. We carry all your favorite name brand foods, and we accept manufacturer coupons. Find us on Facebook and see our weekly specials.
Pretty long, isn't it? So it's back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, want to mention to you that we taped the press conference for Coach Chip Lindsey, and it's an hour and a half production, and it's going to run right after this show today, so we're looking forward to watching that. Want to mention also that the Troy University's baseball team is already practicing for the fall and what I call it the spring season at Troy University, coming off one of the better pro years in Troy history as they went all the way to the regional championships in Georgia. Will actually play that in Georgia, and they look like they're going to have another good team coming in here this fall. In fact, the schedule features 31 home games, so let me tell you, you want some real enjoyment, buy your season tickets and enjoy Troy University baseball this fall. It is wonderful place to go and relax and enjoy a great baseball game among a lot of your friends. So buy your season tickets today by calling the ticket office at Troy University for your tickets. Just let you know a few of the games, the teams that are going to be coming in here for home games. Alabama's coming in here. UAB is going to be here. Jacksonville State. Also, Sunbelt Powers, Louisiana Lafayette, Georgia Southern, also will visit Riddle Pace Field this spring. And, of course, a lot of other games. They're going to bring in North Alabama, who is now a Division I AA program playing baseball. And that ought to be a good series. And also, Southern Miss, they're going to play Southern Miss in Biloxi. They're going to play the University of Tennessee in Hoover, in Birmingham, and UAB in Birmingham. Those are three of the games to be played at the AA stadium there, a pro stadium there in Birmingham. And also got a big road trip to Louisiana Tech. Southern Mississippi is also on the schedule, and they open up the season versus Central Michigan on February the 15th. So that's not far away, baseball season at Troy University. And as I said, go ahead and order your tickets now. Mentioning football coaches, Auburn's lost another one of their assistant coaches, running backs coach Tim Horton, and will be moving on from Auburn to be a running backs coach, and more power to him. He advances his career, and of course he is his production as running back coach, all SEC running backs. He had 10 different 1,000-yard rushers, so that's pretty good. And, of course, including 6 seasons at Arkansas from 2007 to 12, Horton produced 9 different all-SEC running backs for over 1,000 yards. That is quite a deal there. And now he moves on to coach elsewhere, and we'll be talking more about that in just a few moments. Of course, if you watched the game yesterday, boy, it looked like the Saints were in trouble. But, hey, when you got Drew Brees, you're never in complete trouble. He got hot, and they tied it up and went ahead at the end and ended up winning the football game 20-14 to play next week for the divisional, the NFC championship, and to see who will play in the next week's games will determine who will play in this year's Super Bowl. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandback Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandback Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandback is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandback Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
When you are handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile. You saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Tori Dunn from Dixie Trails. You get your truck washed here?
I sure do.
Really does. I know you're not bringing them cow trucks, okay?
I do, and they're like me when I leave.
Loretta, what are you doing?
Getting my car detailed.
At Trojan Detail, we do it all.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by the Withington Group. Remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. See Perry Green at the Withington Group on the Enterprise Elba Highway right here in Troy, and we appreciate him. Jeff at Quality Roofing, hey, man, they don't come any better than Quality Roofing when you're looking to have your roof replaced or have your roof worked on. Whether it's a small leak or whether or not you need a new roof, they do a great job at Quality Roofing. And Jeff is a very good friend of mine, does a great job. Pike County Ford on the bypass here in Troy. And hey, if you want one of these great red, white, and blue hats, drop by and take a look at some of those beautiful Ford cars and trucks at Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy. And I bought cars from them, and they have really been great people to do business with. Troy Health and Rehab, located on the Elba Enterprise Highway, and Warren Kelly and all those great folks do a great job, and we appreciate them very much. Of course, for whether or not you need rehab or or you're in for a long-term rehab, long-term, you'll find it at the Troy Health and Rehab on the bypass here in Troy. I also want to mention Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep on the bypass, and Jason and all the great folks there are ready to do business with you. Have a huge selection of Dodge Chrysler Jeeps and Ram trucks located on the bypass right here in Troy. And First Citizen Bank of Luverne, one of the strong local banks in Alabama. And, of course, I want to say good morning to William Petrie and Steve Sanders and Charlie Sankey and all the great people located right off Main Street in downtown Luverne. And the Horn Beverage, boy, I tell you, Booty Bruce, Donna Horn, great supporters of Troy University athletics, and have done so much to support athletics in Troy over the years, and we appreciate it. Trojan Detail, man, I tell you, he can make your car truck look like new from Trojan Retail right here on Montgomery Street in Troy. We're talking sports, talking whatever you would like to talk about today. And again, we are coming down to the final weekend before the Super Bowl. And what we've got is we've got teams, four teams that I think are definitely worth watching and supporting. The Rams, who have got a quarterback that was coached by Tony Franklin when he was at California. Goff going up against Drew Brees. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff, or actually 1 o'clock Eastern time next week. And then New England playing at Kansas City, and boy, what a shootout this is going to be. Tom Brady against Mahomes, the young phenom, and that's what I say because he is. He is a wonderful quarterback, and that's going to be quite a game at 5:40, or might be 6:40 Eastern time next week. So the NFC championship, the winner will go to the Super Bowl. Will feature the Rams and the New Orleans Saints. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Good morning.
Mike Amos calling in from Birmingham. Mike, this is going to be a tough one this week. The Rams playing at New Orleans. That's a huge advantage for New Orleans to play in New Orleans, don't you think?
Well, I mean, you think so, but I mean, shoot, yesterday the Eagles got off to a 14-point lead and, thought that they were going to, beat the Saints, but the Saints, kind of got it together late and, had the game won. If the guy makes the field goal to the end, I mean, it basically would have been up 23-14, but he missed not a chip shot, a 52-yarder, but in a dome. A pro kicker usually makes a 52-yarder, but missed the kick, and then Eagles got the ball back at the 42 because it was a 52-yard field goal, and basically drove it down to the 20 and had a chance to win the game, but the Saints luckily got an interception and won it. So the Rams are really good, though, with Goff and Gurley and, great defensive players. I expect that to go down to the wire.
Yeah. Foles for Philadelphia did a great job coming in and replacing the starting quarterback. I would think they might want to give the job to Foles. What do you think?
Well, Carson Wentz, was a first-round pick and, had a really good career going, but he's had a lot of injuries. And, of course, Foles led him to a Super Bowl, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Doug Peterson was at the Alabama Coaches Clinic and spoke to all the high school coaches from all over the country, and I got to hear him speak. And I tell you what, he's an impressive guy, a really class act.
How long ago was that? That was last year, is that right?
That was last year, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know who went on after Doug Peterson?
Who?
Neil Brown.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. A lot of people are...
Actually, I heard Neil Brown at the Alabama Coaches Clinic and at the Auburn Coaches Clinic last year.
Yeah. And, of course, he's quite good now.
Yeah, I mean, Tip Lindsay made it evident that him and Neil Brown were close and were friends, and they talked throughout.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Talked a lot.
Time at Troy and kind of had an idea of what Neil was, trying to do, trying to get a Power 5 job.
Yeah, exactly.
Make all that money. So, I mean, I think a lot goes with Neil Brown as well. I wouldn't have been surprised if Neil didn't recommend Chip Lindsay.
Yeah. Well, and also, he and Summerall were good friends too. But both those were very good candidates, and from what I gathered, it came down to those two.
Yeah, I'm glad they interviewed Derek Ansley. I mean, Derek Ansley was an All-American at Troy, one of the best defensive backs maybe of all time. Yeah. Of course, went on to coach at Tennessee and Kentucky, and was at the University of Alabama 2 different times. He was Alabama's secondary coach last year, and I mean, you got to interview a guy that's got those kind of credentials, and is a secondary coach for the Los Angeles Raiders or the Oakland Raiders. I mean, that's a pretty good candidate right there.
No question. Mike, I've got to tell you this.
You'll see Ansley in the mix maybe year come at Troy too.
Yeah. Mike, what kind of athlete is this Drew Nelson at Pike Liberal Arts School?
I mean, obviously he's a really good young athlete. What is he, in the 8th, 9th grade?
Well, let me tell you what he did. He's in the 9th grade. Drew Nelson, he's the young man that, as an 8th grader, came in and pitched so brilliantly in Pike Liberal Arts state championship run, and of course they won the state championship. He did that as an 8th grader. Well, it's this. Drew Nelson of Pike Liberal Arts School scored 23 points in Thursday's 55-53 win at Northside Methodist. The Patriots are now 11-4. They play Success Unlimited on Monday, and we might go and do that game. I'm not sure, but he's only a 9th grader. Scored 23 points.
Yeah, that's impressive.
He is an athlete, isn't he?
I don't know how tall he is. I know his dad's around 6'3".
Well, and hopefully he'll grow like his dad. But let me tell you this: he's already a proven baseball player.
Yeah,
he's already proven himself as a basketball player, and he's also proven himself as a quarterback on the football team.
Yeah, I tell you what Troy Cable needs to do though. Every game that Moore Davenport plays in from here on out, they probably ought to try to film that, because that's going to be getting all the national exposure.
Yeah, you're right.
I think everybody needs to try to keep up with hopefully she'll be able to play as many games. I know the Alabama High School Athletic Association is going to appeal, and they're going to fight it, to the bitter end. They're not going to give up on it either. So we're going to see what happens.
Shelby Renfro, Pike Liberal Arts girls, had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 steals in Thursday's Pike Liberal Arts 48-38 win at Northside Methodist. So another outstanding performance by this young lady, Shelby Renfro, at Pike Liberal Arts.
I know Charles Henderson's got a new boys coach this year. How are the actual boys doing at Charles Henderson this year in basketball?
Doing much better. He's a heck of a coach, Mike. He coached at Pike County High School of Brundage for several years and did a great job, and took the Charles Henderson job when it became open. Oh yeah, his name's Branson. He does a great job.
Of course, Colin Hollis coached for so many years, and then Shelby took over for a couple years, and I knew they had a new coach, so I was just kind of wondering how that went.
And let me tell you this, of course, Troy University has already made their selections, and I don't know who they are for the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame, but start writing letters and sending them to Troy Athletic Department supporting Carl Hollis into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame. He was a great basketball player at Troy.
Yeah, I saw another quote from Corey Robinson talking about Chip Lindsey, and Corey, it's hard to believe, has been gone now, I guess.
Yeah.
Shoot, over 5 years at least, and he's a guy that will go into the Hall of Fame, no doubt. I mean, he's got record numbers at quarterback that will never probably be broken.
No question about it. And I've got a hunch about some people that'll be going in.
I think Brock Nutter should probably go in before Corey, but I know Corey will go in one day.
But you're exactly right. Brock Nutter really has done well. It shows in the advertiser today, Mike, they talk about Alabama's players in the pros, and they still got a bunch of them. One of them's Amari Cooper. He's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, but Dallas got beat by the Rams. Dak Prescott had a decent game, but I see what the Rams did. They shut down the great running back, Ezekiel Elliott. I think only rushed for 47 yards, and that was the difference in that game.
Yeah. Derrick Henry had a good year with Tennessee, didn't he?
Yeah, Henry rushed for over 1,000 yards this year. He had a good season.
And, I tell you.
We can talk about Alabama players in the pros. They have 50 guys in the pros.
Yeah. I tell you somebody that's been impressive, Mike, that I didn't think would make it, and that's been Marlon Humphrey.
What are you talking about? He's a first-round pick.
I know it with Baltimore. I mean, I didn't think he deserved to be a first-round pick, but I was wrong because I thought he was too small.
He's 6 foot.
Yeah, but and he was skinny in college,
Well, he's one of those guys that has unbelievable speed. He's got track speed.
Yeah.
He's a guy that could have got a track scholarship just as easy going.
Well, he was all of these are early entries. Most of these guys.
Yeah, he went his senior year.
Yeah.
But Saban flat out tells these guys, if you can go in the first 2 rounds, he supports it.
All right, going in.
Somebody like Mac Wilson, who had a really horrible year at linebacker and missed several tackles in several games. He's a guy that's just not ready to go.
Yeah. Mike, Auburn's losing their running backs coach. Where is he going?
They kind of demoted him off the field and just going to hire a new guy.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Tim
that.
Horton has been there for 6 years.
Boy, he had a good record, didn't he?
Well, he had some good running backs, but that's just kind of the way it works.
Right,
they want to keep him on staff, but bring somebody else in to put him on the field.
This will be fun. These are early entrants, guys, and let's see who all made it. And we got the guru on the phone. All right, now going to leave early this year is running back Josh Jacobs, tight end Irv Smith, defensive back Salvanio Smith, defensive back Deontay Thompson, offensive tackle Jonah Williams, and defensive tackle Quentin Williams. All right, those are the guys that are going out this year.
Alabama's going to have 4 guys at least go in the first round.
All right.
Thompson's number 1, and the best offensive lineman is Jonah Williams. Best defensive lineman is Quentin Williams, and then the best tight end is Irv Smith. So all those guys are supposed to go in the first.
You think Jacobs will go in the first round?
Think who?
Jacobs. I mean, Josh
saying Jacobs is a late first round, second round, definitely about a second round for sure.
All right, let's see how these guys did.
Jacobs has already got a growing family. He just had his second child.
Oh gosh, he needs to leave early. Okay, in 2011, Marcel Darius left early. Is he still playing?
Yeah, he's starting to tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Julio Jones was a first-round pick.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's on pace to break Jerry Rice's record.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about you. Always said at Julio, you didn't think he had the best hands in the world, but he definitely got a lot better when he got into the pros.
I think so too. Mark Ingram, running back, and he's doing pretty well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's about to become the Saints' all-time leading rusher.
Golly, he's done it in a quiet way, hasn't he?
Yeah, but 2 years. I mean, before this year, he had 2 straight Pro Bowl seasons.
Yeah. All right, in 2012, running back Trent Richardson was a first-round pick.
No, he's been a flop.
3rd pick overall.
He's the starting running back for the Birmingham Iron in the Alliance Football League, which will start in February. So anybody that's still craving football, all they got to do is drive up to Legion Field in February and go watch the Birmingham Iron play. Is their name.
Who's their quarterback, Birmingham?
It's down to Blake Sims and another guy that played at Alabama. Alabama quarterback Blake Sims is battling against a guy from Texas A&M Commerce.
Yeah.
That apparently was on the Rams roster.
Okay, I got you.
Must be pretty good.
All right, Dre Kirkpatrick, is he doing well?
Yeah, he signed.
He went early in 2012.
$millions contract a couple years ago. He's been the starting corner for the Bengals for
these are
6
guys
or 7 years.
That left early. And then, of course, you had a young man named Dante Hightower left early.
Starting linebacker for the Patriots is making millions and millions a year.
In 2013, D. Milliner, is he still around?
Now, D. Miller's been a flop. He's out of the league. He's from Stanhope Elmore.
Yeah. All right, he was with the Jets. Eddie Lacy.
He did have a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Eddie Lacy in 2013.
Eddie Lacy had a great career going with the Packers and couldn't keep weight off. He was playing running back at 265 pounds.
Yeah.
And got released, and it's a situation where he's out of the league too. So Lacy and Richardson are out of the league.
Yeah. In 2014, we lost Clinton Dix.
Yeah, Clinton Dix is an all-pro player for the Green Bay Packers.
Is he really? All right, offensive tackle Cyrus Colangio, or whatever you call it. Offensive tackle Cyrus Colangio. You remember him?
Cyrus Quandro was playing for the Buffalo Bills and is still in the league, but he has not been a starter. He's like a reserve lineman.
Jeffrey Pagan was
he got cut. He's not in the league.
Okay, so he left too soon. Vinny Sunseri, Mike, how's he doing?
Vinny Sunseri's not in the league anymore either.
Yeah. And he left early, didn't he?
He did.
All right, and Andrea.
But he had a really bad knee injury in college. I just don't know if he was ever the same.
Everybody says if he hadn't gotten hurt in that game, they would have beat Auburn that game because he would have made the play. Adrian Hubbard, is he still in it?
No, he's not in it.
All right, 2015. Amari Cooper still doing very well. He was a first-round draft choice.
One of the best receivers in football.
Landon Collins, is he doing well?
All-pro safety for the Giants, yeah.
T.J. Weldon, is he doing good? I hadn't heard from him much this year. T.J. Weldon.
Say what?
T.J. Weldon,
he's running back for Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, 2016, Derrick Henry, is he doing well?
Yeah, we just mentioned he's rushed for over 1,000 yards this year.
All right, defensive tackle Ashawn Robinson with the line.
Robinson starting defensive tackle for the Detroit Lions.
Okay, 2017. These are people that left early. Marlon Humphrey made it.
Starting cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Offensive tackle Cam Robinson, did he make it?
Yeah, Cam Robinson starting offensive tackle for Jacksonville Jaguars.
And then wide receiver Ardarius Stewart.
Darius Stewart's, I think, with the Redskins. He's been cut, though, a few times. He was with the Jets originally, but he's still playing in the pros.
Okay, this past year, Mika Kilpatrick, has he done well in the pros?
Yeah, Mika Fitzpatrick, great player for the Dolphins. He'll have a great career.
Daron Payne,
first-round pick, had a great season for the Redskins.
All right, Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley had a great rookie season for the Falcons, wide receiver.
Ronnie Harrison.
Ronnie Harrison started at safety the last few games.
Can you believe how many of these kids left early? And Bo Scarborough, how's Bo doing?
Bo Scarborough got cut with the Cowboys because they chose Jordan Chun on the practice squad.
So Jordan Chun beat him out.
Yeah,
beat Scarborough
Jordan Chun
out.
was on the practice squad for the Cowboys the whole season.
I got you.
But then Bo Scarborough got picked up by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he was on the practice squad the rest of the season. Then he got picked up by Seattle, so he's trying to
still in
the league.
Yeah.
So, yeah, practice squad guys.
I thought that was interesting to note. These kids that have left early, did they do well? I would say 75 to 80% of them did well.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, there were some guys that went early that Saban pretty much said at the time they weren't ready.
Yeah.
And he's usually right.
That's right. And of course, there's more than that.
Yeah, this year you got 7 guys going early, so we'll see what happens.
They've allowed that rule, and just think that rule wasn't there for a long time, but that rule's been going on since 2011. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
2011. I thought that was interesting to note. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, coming up right after this show, we're going to show you the press conference, the entire press conference, and a few of the interviews that we made on Friday at the Stadium Club here in Troy. As we, and of course, if you're watching this morning, Coach, and I'm sure you are, Coach Chip Lindsey, welcome to Troy, Alabama, my friend. And we're looking forward to some wonderful, wonderful years of watching football at Troy under your direction.
Yeah, we've had great relationships with all the coaches, and they've always been gracious to come on the show. And again, Neil Brown was great about coming on the show. Of course, Coach Blayton came on all the time.
And I'll try to have Coach.
We'll have Coach Lindsey on, I'm sure.
That'll be fun. Yeah, exactly right. Well, listen.
Have a good one, man.
Take care, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed our show, and you'll be with us bright and early in the morning for Today in L.A.